An angle is created when two rays share a common endpoint. In this example right down here, this is an angle. Each side of the angle is a ray, and right here where they meet is called the vertex. There are 4 different types of angles. A right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees, so it's smaller than 90. An obtuse is greater than 90 degrees, which is 91 or bigger. And a straight angle is exactly 180. That's the only one that doesn't deal with 90 degrees. This is an example of a straight angle. Here's the vertex. One goes to the right, the other one is going to the left. Notice they go in opposite directions. That will make a straight angle. 2 angles are vertical if they are opposite angles formed at an intersection of 2 lines. Something that you need to look for is the X. Here we have an X with the 2 lines, which means we are going to have vertical angles. In the center is the vertex of all 4 of these angles, which are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. The angles that go in opposite directions are vertical. In this example, angle 3 opens up to the right, and angle 1 opens to the left. Therefore, 1 and 3 are vertical angles. Similarly, we have angle 2 that opens up, and we have angle 4 that opens down. They also go in opposite directions, so they would be vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Congruent means equal. They have the same measure. And here's a reminder, here is the symbol for congruent. Now, we have adjacent angles also. Adjacent angles, again, we're using the same pictures before, but this time they're not going in opposite directions. If I highlight angle 1, and then I highlight angle 2, you will see that they have a side that overlaps. That's how you can tell if they are adjacent angles. They need to have a side that they share. We can say 2 angles are complementary if their sum is 90 degrees. Remember, sum means addition. If I take angle 1 and angle 2, which are adjacent because they share a side, and I add them together, that would equal 90 degrees. We know it's 90 degrees because of this box right here, which is talking about, shows that it's a right angle, and a right angle is 90 degrees. We can write it in symbols. This M right here that I'm highlighting just stands for measure. So we can say the measure, or the degree, of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Similarly, we have supplementary angles. Instead of equaling 90 degrees, because they form this straight line right here, this straight angle, they are equal to 180 degrees. Now, complementary and supplementary angles do not have to be adjacent for them to be complementary or supplementary. These 2 examples happen to show adjacent angles. In this example, we want to name the angle shown at the right, then classify it as acute, right, or obtuse, or straight. This angle is less than 90 degrees, therefore it is an acute angle. And we can name this angle in 4 different ways. The first way we can name it is by using 3 letters. The vertex right here always needs to be the middle letter. We can just trace the angle X, Y, Z, or we could trace the angle in the opposite direction by naming it, and you would get Z, Y, X. Now, the next way that we can name it is by using the vertex only. We can do that because there is only one vertex at Y. Or we could even use the number 1. Notice every time I name it, we put the little angle symbol in front of how we name it. In this example, we want to find the value of x in the figure. And we're looking for this value right here. Notice with these two lines, we actually have an x that is formed. And anytime we have an x that is formed, we are going to have vertical angles. So if I highlight this angle that we're looking for, I notice that it opens up, which means vertical would have to be the opposite direction of up, so we would look at the one that is opening down. We can take those two and make them equal to each other. 2x plus 2 is equal to 130, since vertical angles are congruent. We are going to solve the algebra problem by subtracting 2 from each side. We isolate the couple, and then we divide by 2 and find that x is equal to 64. In this example, we are finding the value of x again. And we know that we have a 90-degree angle because of this box right here in the corner. 90 degrees means that they are complementary. I can set up the equation with 2x plus 28 is equal to 90. We want to subtract 28 from each side to get 2x by itself, and then we can get x by itself by dividing by 2. Therefore, we have x is equal to 31. The angles shown are supplementary, and here's a good example of supplementary angles that are not adjacent. We want to find the value of x. Supplementary means 180 degrees. We are going to take 123, add it with 3x, and have it equal 180 degrees. We're going to subtract 123 from each side. Then we will divide by 3, and we find that x is equal to 19. The picture shows a support brace for a gate. The support braces are the two diagonal pieces. We want to find the value of x. Well, I can see right here that we have a straight line. We have adjacent angles that make a straight line. Therefore, a straight line is 180 degrees. We can take the two angles that we have, 80 and 10x, add them together, and equal 180 degrees. Subtract 80 from both sides, divide by 10, and we find that the value of x would need to be 10.